If you've ever been on a sales call or in a sales conversation and you feel so frustrated because people are telling you what they think they need, but you're the expert and you know what they need and it's not what they're saying. And you're like, oh, if they could just understand what I understand, their life would be a lot easier. Well, that's you. You are not the only one. In fact, right now I'm at Construction Resources. It's a company that was recently actually acquired by Home Depot, and they have a brand new opening coming up in a couple of days. And so they brought me in to really refine their sales skills and get them excited about persuading people into what really the best decision is for them as they are building their dream home. So I talk a little bit about persuasion and what persuasion is, but I also give them this amazing framework that gets people into motion to buy not just what they think that they need, but what they actually need. So I have a whole training here for you and I hope you enjoy. So y'all ready to have fun?
Yeah.
So before we get started, I don't want y'all to be distracted, like who's the pregnant lady up here and like how does she know what to talk about with sales? So is it okay if I tell you just like a tiny little bit about myself?
Sure.
Yeah. So I had about 18 years ago when I was in high school, my dad started to introduce to me this idea of learning how to sell. He grew up very poor, and when he learned how to sell, like something switched, and he started to have like a twitch in his eye. You know, those people who they learn something, they can't stop talking about it. Well, that was my dad. And so against my own will, he really was obsessed with me learning how to sell. He would play it in our house, in our speakers, like sales training books and cars. He even would bring projectors to our family beach trips and workbooks. He would pass the workbooks around on the beach and say, you girls want to go to dinner tonight? Me and my sister. He's like, we're going to learn a session. But I totally resisted it, right? Like when your dad is old, right? He's like old and dumb and doesn't know anything. And so I was like, I'm like not interested in this. You're dated. That's not cool. Until, everybody say until I got my first job. And I sat in that cubicle and I was like, what? You're telling me I worked so hard in school and sports and degrees and whatever, and to sit in this cubicle and just wait for 5 o'clock? Like, what? And that's when I was like, okay, I kind of want to get in the game. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, there's kind of like a game to sales. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a swing here. And so I started selling products online, and my dad was watching me. I was on Instagram, okay, and he was watching me, and he was so encouraging. He would say, Macy, you know, you're doing such a good job. He's like, you're just kind of coming across a little bit ashamed to sell. Has anybody kind of felt that way before? Mm-hmm. Like you're kind of dancing around what you're trying to do here. You're like, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be like aggressive. And so let me just dance around and just be your friend and talk about anything but what I want to sell you. He's like, you're just coming off really ashamed. And of course, I'm like, Dad, you don't know anything. This is how you do it nowadays, right? But then you go to sleep and you think about what he said, and you're like, dang, I think you might be right. And so I was newly married and I really had my back against the wall. Like I could make this work, or I could just live the life in the cubicle, right? And so I went back to him and said, okay, I'm ready to learn. And so I went all in. Someone say all in. I went all in. What does that look like? I went to his office every day, committed to what he was going to teach me. So the difference between all in and not all in, like all in is spending every bit of energy you have believing it's going to work for you, open-handed, versus like a crossed-armed mentality. You know what I'm talking about? Where you walk into something, you're like, I'm just like a little skeptical. I'm going to side eye here. It's like spending energy questioning it versus energy learning it. Spending energy trying to prove that it's not going to work for you versus all of your energy applying it, knowing that it will work for you. And when I went all in, my life changed drastically. And what's so ironic is like this information was the same from when I was in high school to when I was out of high school. But my two mindsets were totally different, right? My first mindset was, this isn't for me. I literally spent all my energy fighting him versus my energy going into like, okay, I'm going to make this work. And that's when everything changed for me. And you know when you learn something and you have this light bulb moment and you're like, oh my gosh, like everyone else is so like dumb for not knowing what I know. Like how can they be walking around living their life not knowing how to sell? And I do know how to sell. And it was like this overwhelming, like, this is what I'm meant to do, is to make sales cool again. And that's why we're the sales girls, right? Sales people, but sales girls. Brian and what was Derek? Just go with me here, okay? Just flow with the sales girl vibes, okay? It's just fun, right? And so and I was thinking about coming in here, and I was just like, okay, I didn't know y'all then, but y'all are like so fun. So I'm way more excited than I even thought I was going to be. But I was like, they're kind of in a position that I was in high school. Like maybe some of them want to be here. Maybe some of you don't. I don't know. That we actually used to do corporate trainings every single month. And we stopped because the energy of like corporate is, oh, I have to be here. I don't want to be here, which was how not the buy-in culture, right? And but I know Antoinette, and she is so special, and I love her so much. And I was like, Courtney kind of sent me this email, and I was like, what? Let's give it a shot. And so I just know y'all are going to be all in. Are y'all going to be all in today? Yes. Going to be fully committed, fully bought in, and just like so expectant to what you're going to learn and apply. And we're going to have fun, okay? Does that sound good? Yeah. So the cool thing about sales is like it's not just about exchanging money. What it really helps you with your communication, your all in all communication, your confidence, and also control. It's how I opened up. You want to take control of your life. Truthfully, sales skills give you that control. So let's talk about communication for just a second. The thing about sales is like you're always selling. You're either selling or you're being sold. You're either communicating or you're the one buying. Always. If you want to stand up out of your chair, it requires discipline and decision. If you want someone else to stand up out of their chair, it requires sales. If you want anyone to take any action at all, a sales conversation or a sales message must happen beforehand. So how many of you have kids? How many of you want your kids to do what you tell them to do? It's a sales job. That's all that it is. You understand that, right? Like, doing really well. Like when I go back and I think about like, now I realize, of course, that I'm older and I look back at my childhood, I'm like, oh, I was raised in a sales cultured home. Like my dad, he helped me see the vision of what my life could be when I made a decision. And what that ended up doing is that helped me become a person that made decisions based on my future, not like what I wanted in the moment. Don't you guys want your clients to do that? Like, of course, in the moment they want the easiest, the quickest, the cheapest. Of course, when they end up doing it and then they're mad or they're annoyed or they're frustrated, like if they could understand like the true payoff of when you tell them to do what they need to do, because y'all are the experts. 25 years selling appliances, like Maria is the expert, okay? We need to listen to her. She's the expert, 100%. And so it's not just about knowing, it's about persuading to get people to buy into what Maria is having to say. And so when you know how to sell, it's like all of a sudden, we have a book called Persuade for Good, because persuasion can be kind of dangerous, okay? Well, you can like get people to do stuff that's not in their best interest. That's not what we're up in here about, okay? That's why we're really, really adamant about training people in their mindset, their heart, and their attitude, because these skills are dangerous for good or for bad, but we do it for good, yeah? Mm-hmm. Another thing it gives you is confidence. How many of you have had clients come in with unhappy postures? Anybody? And they're frustrated and they're annoyed and they have someone that they got to take it out on, and it's going to be you. Anybody experience that? How many of you feel kind of like sick at your stomach when that starts to happen? Yeah, wave at me if you're like, some of you have like, been there, done that. I know how to handle it. But like, what if I told you that when people approach you like that, all that is an objection? That's all that it is. It's just they have a perspective that needs shifting. And so when you know how to sell, you can handle any and every interaction, like no matter what the day holds, you're ready for it. And lastly, control. When you are amazing at selling, you become the most valued person in the company. Have y'all seen The Office? I thought about bringing this up or not. Okay. Only one. I don't know if I should share this, but you know that episode where the salespeople get like the best treatment, right? They get like the bags and the trips, and then the service people are like,
and they're snapping with their
and they're like, yeah, do this, right? That is kind of like they're the lifeblood of the business. And so promotions and influence and like raises, like all of that is on the other side of you knowing how to sell. So are y'all like, okay, I'm in. Are y'all in? Say I'm in if you're in. Okay, amazing. Okay, so knowing this, let me ask you, would you like to sell in a way that's as easy and as effortless as like tying your shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, where you're like, I can literally sing and dance and parent my child all by tying my shoes. Okay, whenever I think about someone doing something really easy and effortless, I always think about Simone Biles. Crazy to watch her. It's like she is doing the most insane flips, and it looks like she's not even thinking about it. And you just watch her with drool coming out of your mouth. You're just like, how is that possible? But if you really think about it, now I know this is a little bit of an exaggerated statement, but if you really think about it, the only difference between Simone Biles and me is she has taken the time and energy to master something, and I haven't. Now, of course, she's like got some genetic and she's built and, of course. But generally, like she committed time and energy to mastery and I did it. That's it. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that anything that you want to master just requires a little bit of what? And a little bit of time and energy. That's it. And I really wanted to know, like, how long have y'all been in business and selling? And y'all been in sales like a long time, which is so exciting for me. Some of you, how many of you have had actual like sales training? Just put your hand up really high. Okay, you've had sales training, not just product training, but sales training. Okay, when is like the last time you've had sales training? Long time ago? Okay, anybody else? 3 years ago? Okay, okay, amazing. Amazing. So I have trained thousands of women, and we do it in all different kinds of forms and fashion. But what's really blows my mind is the people who've been in sales for a really long time. And they come in and they're like, oh my gosh, I had the weirdest relationship with sales and I didn't even know it. I was like, I've literally been doing this most of my life and I was like uncomfortable and ashamed and I had no idea. Or they just they learned one time and they never even like iterated. Can we just like play a game if you have pen and paper? Just I'm gonna tell you to draw something and I want you to draw it in 5 seconds. Can y'all do that? Okay, everyone. Do it in your head, okay? Everybody got their paper out? Ready? I want everyone to draw a house. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amazing. Okay, how many of y'all's house looks kind of like this? Okay. When did you learn how to draw this? When you were 5 years old and you never questioned it again. And a lot of you are talking like this. You're like, I learned how to talk 20 years ago, 3 years ago, when I was a teenager, and you never ever questioned it. And so this is what you look like, okay? You're like, I just do the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and I just like get the same results. And what does this look like? Honestly, it just looks like the same results. Like, do y'all feel like you like grow or don't? You're like, why do I just keep getting the same thing every single month? But what we want is we want iteration. Someone say iteration. We want iteration where you just like are slightly adjusting and learning new things and trying new things. And you're kind of going up this spiral for over time you start to master and get better and better. Now, the thing about going up the spiral is like, it's kind of boring. It's like the same thing every single day. Like Simone Biles, let's think about what her life was like. She probably ate the same thing. She woke up at the same time. She did her same warm-up routine. She just did everything the same. But then 10 years later, she looks up and she's an Olympic gold medalist. And I know for me, like, I feel like my days are like kind of the same. But I realize that I have moved my way up the spiral usually like around Christmas, where you're kind of reflective over the past year. And maybe you see family members you haven't seen in a long time. And they're like, well, give me an update. And you're like, wow, my like process of iterating has paid off. And it feels like the same, but you're actually higher on the spiral, yeah? And so I want to show you what kind of this is like a version of the spiral, okay? This is like one loop of the spiral. And you do this every day and you start to go up. You're right now today, this is a mental software we're going to talk about called the Sales Girl software. Just roll with it, okay? It's a mental like programming where you hear things and like a software, it starts to like spit out a certain result, right? And we want to get you trained in a way where information comes in and you can spit out a message that makes people move. Okay. So right now, my goal is to teach you like one framework that's part of the Sales Girl software, and we're going to practice in the wild. Someone say in the wild.
In the wild.
We go in the wild. We're going into conversations. We're calling people. We're doing our thing, and then we come back and we kind of share and we role play maybe what happened or what you want to happen. That's where coaching comes in, and then we modify and we do it again. This is my best swing at deliberate practice. You know, when you're like playing golf, I don't play golf. My sons love golf, but if I were to say, hey, bud, like hit it three inches to the right, that's a deliberate thing that he can focus on, a deliberate practice. So with communication, it can be hard to be deliberate like that, yeah? Mm-hmm. So frameworks help you, and the coaching really help you have this deliberate iteration that makes you try new things. Now, I don't have that much time with you today. Usually our programs, they can be 5 days, they can be a year, we have a 3.5 day experience. They are meaty, okay? I only have a couple hours with you today, so we're gonna kind of do some in the wild stuff. We're gonna role play. Y'all are gonna embody like some of your old clients that you've had before, your old client interactions, and some of you are gonna be the salesperson, and we're gonna practice conversations, and we're gonna do some iterations, and it's gonna be so fun. Are y'all excited about that? Now, I didn't think y'all sounded very excited. Are y'all excited about that?
Yes.
Okay, now listen, this is such a safe place. It's a warm seat. It's not a hot seat, it's a warm seat. And the reason why this is so powerful, when you're in the hot seat, your learning receptors are like on overdrive. This is where it comes together, is when we practice. And so it is so safe, it's so encouraging. You can't even like mess up or do it wrong. But where it comes together for you and for everyone else is in the practice. And so I'm gonna teach you a framework, we're gonna practice. In fact, this is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna redefine sales and just make sure we're all on the same page of what sales is, okay? I'm gonna give you a framework of how to tell people what they need, not just what they think they need. Y'all know what I'm talking about? People come in and they're like, I've done my research. I watched YouTube videos. I found all this online on Instagram. Let me show you this Instagram story. This is what I need. And you're like, oh God, they only knew what I knew, right? We're gonna practice and we're gonna do a little bit of dress for success, but I feel like I don't need that because y'all look so fired today. I don't even need that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with redefining sales really quick. If sales was a person and it rang your doorbell and you open the door, what would be your reaction to this person that is sales?
Close the door back.
Okay, that's interesting. Close the door back. What else? Huh? Close it? You would close it.
What are you here for? Why are you
here? Why are you here? Okay. Who else? Would you be like, why are you here? Oh my gosh, no one can know that we're friends. Get out of here. People are like, oh, I'm a consultant. I'm a associate. God forbid you be a salesperson, you know? You're embarrassed. Or like, ew, my God, you smell so bad, it's so gross. Ew. Anybody else? All that? Is anyone?
You're afraid of how much money they're going to try to take from you.
Oh, okay. Afraid of how much money they're going to try to take from you. That's good. Who else?
Happy.
Happy?
No, I'm happy on the floor.
Oh, okay. She's like, no. Not happy about selling. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, well, that's just
time. I get frustrated by the time.
What you got?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Don't take my time.
Don't take my time. Time would be my main
Wow.
point. Yeah.
Don't take my time. Like, okay. Don't take my money. Okay, interesting. Wow, it's just so fascinating. You know, I have a friend. He's like a wealth advisor. He's known in the industry as like the smartest man in money, and he was an accountant first. And he tells a story about how when he started his own business, someone said, "Hey, you need to go sell your services," and he was like, "Oh, I have a master's. I don't sell. I have a master's." Like that's what his reaction was I'm up here. Salespeople are down here. The lowest of the low. If you're dumb, you just sell. That's what his reaction was. And he's like, yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was thinking that. And you know, usually in our sales training, we have a moment where we just all have a therapy session. Or like, okay, what happened to you to make you hate sales so much? And all these stories start coming up of the worst sales experiences ever. In fact, someone said that a car salesman followed her home.
Oh my gosh.
To follow up with her. Crazy, right? And so she's like, oh, I just feel, and everyone remembers their bad sales experience, yeah? Yes. So here's how I want you to think about this, okay? Bad salespeople have a bad reputation, right? But what are good salespeople known as?
Helpful.
Good people. They're just like, oh my gosh, I bought this dress and they were so helpful. They asked me questions. They helped me find the right size. They like encouraged me when I questioned it. They would never describe it as a sales experience. Oh gosh, no, they're just a good person. They're actually great salespeople. And that's what a great salesperson does, is to kind of ride undercover. I'm like an undercover salesperson all the time, but people don't feel that way. Like, do you feel like I'm a salesperson? You do? Brian? I'm just kidding. Like, I'm just like hanging with you, right? But I have the Sales Girl software that's running in my mind right now that I'm using to filter out what I'm saying. And that's what happens when you master it. Now, how do you like get to know and learn to love anybody? Ask questions, yeah. You just like spend time with them. Yeah? You're like, hey, let's just hang out. You know what's really interesting about like a parent-child relationship is one of my mentors told me this. He said, you know, a child can never love a parent like a parent loves a child because love is the byproduct of giving. So the parent gives to the child like a child could never give to the parent. And so the parent loves the child so much more than the child could ever love the parent. And so it's like, okay, if I like gave time and energy to learn how to sell, master the skill of selling, if I gave my attention, if I just like gave any energy towards the skill set, I would learn to love it. And how many of you like would love to just like see a person walk in and see it as just like such an opportunity to have fun and enjoy your life and get an amazing result for you and for them, yeah? Yeah, Brian's like, let's go. Brian, I like you. Brian's back there. There's just two Brians? I'm like, he's just fun. Okay. So let's just like define sales for a second. How many of you would say sales is convincing? Would y'all ever describe it as convincing? A little bit? Okay. I want you to take that out of your mind and throw it away. Everyone just do this. Nope. Nope, it's not convincing. The definition of convince is actually to defeat. Did you know that? Convincing is to defeat someone. And so what that means is like, we are opponents. We're on the other end of the team. That is not what sales is. How I want you to think about sales is we are on the same team. We are partners trying to get an ultimate result. And that is persuade. Everyone say persuade. Persuade. Now let me break down this word persuade for you. It's gonna blow your mind. Okay. Persuade. If we break up the word, suade means to advise. How many of you say that you spend a lot of your time advising? You're like, this based on my experience, here's what you should do. But per means through to completion. So what sales is we are advising someone into completion, into a decision and beyond. So what does beyond mean? Well, it means that they don't just buy one thing from you, they buy 10 things from you. It's that they don't just buy from you once, they come back to you again and again and again. Is that they don't, just talk, like say, oh, I look at my house. It's like, look at my house and I have to tell you about Maria. Maria changed my life. Maria opened the door to like all this information I didn't know and she helped me make my best decision. That's what fully persuading someone is getting them into completion and beyond where they're locked in with you. So here's kind of what like typically happens. And y'all tell me if you agree with this, okay? So maybe you like learn something. Maybe it's about an appliance. Maybe it's about a countertop or whatever. And you're like, whoa, this is a game changer for people. Have you ever experienced that? This is a game changer for people. And then you see people walk in and you're like, wow, if they only knew how good this was, they would be over here with me. But maybe they walk in with that arms crossed mentality. Do y'all ever get that? They're kind of skeptical. They're trying to kick the tire. They're like, I might just look around here if I'm gonna go buy it at a warehouse. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, oh, but if you only knew what I knew, that wouldn't even be a conversation with you, right? And so when you're so passionate, anybody pretty passionate about what they do? I'm like psychotic. So I know like people can see me coming from a mile away. You're so passionate, you're kind of like frustrated that people don't see what you see. Y'all ever get that? Yeah. You're like, are you like dumb? Like, come on, it is so much better over here. But what you don't see is that there's actually all these stepping stones that people need to take to become a believer. Someone say believer. To become a believer, not just a buyer, but to become a believer. It's two very, very different things. And so you kind of can get a little bit impatient. And so you're like, come on, it's the best. It's heat resistant. It's all this beautiful veining. Look how it's made. Let me actually show you exactly how they find the cords. And you start telling them all this process. Look. And honestly, they might jump. They might. But they will become the buyer, not the believer. So what does it mean to become a buyer, not a believer? Well, they might buy, but then they second guess. Anyone come back and be like, I don't know, I'm kind of second guessing this. Maybe they buy into like the idea, but they go buy from a warehouse. They buy from you once, but they never come back again. Or maybe they hear from you and then they leave and they come back and they buy from someone else. And you're like, what the heck? Like, I'm the one who helps you make the decision. So we love a buyer, but what we really love is a believer. And a believer is someone who's all in. Someone say all in. Where they're like, I am so on your team. I'm so on your side. I'm on your island. I ain't going anywhere else. I'm here for you forever. Now, another thing that's cool about like when they become believers is they don't just like buy the faucet, they buy everything with you. Like, I trust you so much. I can't imagine doing any more work on my own because you are the only brand that I want to talk to when I think about my house. Don't you want that? It's amazing, right? Okay. So the question is, how do we move people over the bridge so that they become believers? That's the question, yeah? So when you think about moving, remember, persuade is to move into completion. We want to move people. So we want to get them in motion. Well, do you want to know how you get people in motion? You put them in emotion. Okay? So persuasion means getting people in motion. You get people in motion through emotion. And then when they feel that emotion, it creates devotion. Okay? Y'all want people devoted to you, don't you? Like, no one can, no influencer, no builder, no other interior designers. Like, nope, I'm coming to Brian, period. So we're actually building a house right now. And so I feel that was another reason why I want to come do this. This is like heavy up on my mind and my life because it is no joke. We're building it's like a second home that's called, we're calling it a pond house. And it sounds really janky, but it's just like a house on some land. This is gonna be my third boy. So it's gonna be a bunch of boys and they're gonna do boy things, okay? But I cannot be at a pond house unless I want to be at the pond house. You know what I'm saying? And if you can look at me, you could probably guess I'm not going to a shack. No, I'm going somewhere nice that I want to be at. So it was going to be a nice house. And so we started to interview interior designers. And I called and called and called and called. And it was so interesting how almost every interior designer was saying things like, tell me about their process. Here's my process. Here's how it works. Here's what it's going to look like. They were telling me about the houses they've done in the past. They were telling me like all of the logistics, how everything works. But there was one designer who said one thing that like got in my heart. And you know what she said? She said, we really believe that your home is the background of your memories. And this home is going to be where all your memories are made. And making sure that this background is right for your pictures and for your videos, that is what we're going to make happen for you. I'm crying. I'm pregnant, so I'm crying, you know, like I'm just like emotional and I'm like, oh, that's the point here, right? That's what this is about. Suddenly I'm devoted. I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with nobody else. I don't care about your process. I don't care about anything. I care that you care about my memories. Put me in emotion. Yeah. And so this can be really hard to do. It's not natural because of how our brains are wired. There's lots of parts of the brain, but like there's kind of like this spectrum. And I'm going to talk about two parts of the brain. It's like the logical part of the brain and the emotional part of the brain. Have you ever had a friend dating a guy like that? That you're like, why are you dating him? Yes. He's like a convict or something. He's like in jail. You're like, why are you dating him? Like logically, it's not a good idea. She's like, I don't know. I just love him. I don't know. I just love him. Or maybe if someone were to be like, why do you love your kids? You're like, I don't know. I have no words to it. I just feel it. And then when you like try to say words about it, you go into logic because it's like so hard to speak from emotion, right? So I wanted to show you about how these two parts of the brain work. So there's lots of parts, but I'm just gonna talk about two, logic and emotion. So the logic part of the brain is called the neocortex. Someone say neocortex. This is the conscious part of the brain. This is logic. This is where you justify decisions. You justify them. And this is where you go to your brain when you're thinking about language. When you're like, okay, I want to find words. I'm using my conscious brain right now to say words to you. But I'm trying to make you feel in your heart with my words. Does that make sense? Now, the emotional part of the brain, it's totally different. This is the subconscious, emotional. This is where you make your gut decisions. And there's no capacity for language. This is why people don't have words, they just feel. They're like, I don't know, I can't explain it, it's just the right decision for me. Okay, so you're telling me, wait a minute, if I want to persuade people in motion, I got to get them in emotion, but I have to use my logical part of my brain to speak to the emotional part of the brain because this doesn't have capacity for language, but this does. And that's where your brain gets all kind of like twisted up and you start backing into logic because you can't speak in emotion. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is why I don't believe there's a natural born salesperson. Have y'all ever heard that? Like, you're a natural born salesperson. No, you become one through learning how to master the skill of really making these two brains come together. Now, there is a part of your brain, it's called the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, but we're just gonna call it the persuasion pathway. And it connects these two parts of the brain. Now, what's really amazing is that when you're buying something, you use this part of your brain perfectly. You go from the limbic to the neocortex. You go from emotional to logical. So for example, when we were buying our second house, it was disgusting. It was disgusting. It was like, there was like sand in the carpet. I don't live at the beach. I live in Cumming, okay? I'm like, what is going on here? But I will tell you, what mattered the most is like, it was close to my family. And I hadn't had kids yet and I wanted to be close to them. And so I spent all of I was like, close to my family, memories, like that's all I could think about. But then I would back into, okay, we can just change the hardwoods, justify. We can just move this wall, justify. We can do it a little bit at a time. It won't be that expensive, justify. I'm like, justify, 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 but I start here and make the decision from here and then I justify all the way back. How many of y'all have like a really nice purse and you did this? You're like, this is gonna make me money. Somehow, some way, I'm gonna justify this making me money. And like, this is how we do it. But here's what's crazy about the brain. When you sell something, you go backwards. You go from this way to this way. You go from logic, 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 and hoping that eventually it'll get into that emotional gut decision, but that's not how they buy. But you're talking from this place to this place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so what we want to do is we want to get your persuasion pathway trained up where you're going from here to here, whether you're buying or selling. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any like thoughts or questions so far? I know I'm kind of moving and grooving, but I feel like y'all are following me. Yeah? Okay, so I want to give you one more visual that I think is going to really help you. So think about having two roads that you're always having to maintain, okay? There's the education road. Now, this is the road that you get like product trained on. How many times are y'all getting trained on your product?
Like twice a week.
Twice a week. Twice a day. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
Maybe 3 times.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of product training. So this road is paved, right? It is like beautifully maintained. You want to go down this road. Your prospects want to go down this road with you because it's smooth. You put that baby in the back and it's going to go to sleep, right? I went to California for Christmas one time and I could not believe how beautiful the decorations were just on the roads. Like this is what who wrapped the palm trees like that? This is what your education road looks like, right?
Yeah.
Someone wrapped the palm trees individually. It is so beautiful. I'm like, no wonder the taxes are so high here. It's so beautiful. I get it. I literally get it. It's so gorgeous. And this is how most people's education road looks like, okay? But then there's also a road and it's the selling road. And this road, 9 times out of 10, isn't trained as much as the education road. Would y'all agree? So y'all say you had training 20 years ago, 3 years ago. So it kind of looks a little bit like this. Okay? Just a little bit. And it's messing up your car. It's dinging up your car. Uh-huh. And like your prospects don't want to be in your car when you're going down this road, right? They're like, you know what? I can walk from here. Thank you. Let me just get out and go find my own way. I got the information. I'll go find my way because this is too uncomfortable for me. So you're super trained in the education, but like when you're in conversation with people, you want to enter into the selling road, but it's overgrown because you haven't even like found the connection. And even if you do get on this road, it's disastrous and no one wants to be on it. So what you end up doing, you're like, you know what, let me just turn around and just keep on educating. That's all I know to do. And they are learning from you. They're like, yeah, I've learned so much, but they're not burning to buy from you. They're learning, but they're not burning. And what's that burning? It's that emotion that gets people in motion to take action. So here's what we want this to look like. We want it to be like boom, 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 educate, sell, educate, sell, educate, sell. And we want to maintain these roads as evenly as possible. It is my recommendation that every time you get a product training, you get a sales training. When you learn how to connect the two. Not just know about the product, but how to connect the two, okay? So here's how I want you to think about this. It's not about what they do, it's about what they get out of what they do. And what you're learning about is like, here's what you need to do in order to get your house to look this way. You need this quartz, you need this, you need this, but no. It's not about that. It's about what do they get out of doing this, okay? So here's how you can think about this. You tell them what to do, and we're gonna practice all this, and you immediately pair it with, what do they get out of what they do? You tell them what they do, tell them what they get out of what they do. Tell them what they do, tell them what they get out of what they do. You think they know what they get out of this. I promise you they don't. Maybe they know, but they're not thinking about it. You know what they're thinking about? How expensive is this gonna be? How hard is this gonna be? How much work is this gonna be? I don't know if I can handle this. I gotta talk to my husband. They are thinking about all the things in the way, but you keep reminding them, what do they get out of this? They're gonna be thinking about their future, which puts them in emotion, which gets them where? In what? Motion. In motion, baby. That's right. And here's what's cool. Look, persuade. Advise into completion. Advise into completion. Advise into completion. So that is like part one of today of what is sales? What are we even doing? And I want to have a check-in moment. I want to hear any ahas, takeaways, and questions real quick, and then we'll take a break.
I like that you named the emotion and the logic.
Yeah.
Under that, many purchases I have made, it started emotional.
Yeah.
And then the logic, when you get to the checkout, it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but you justify into it. You're like,
Yeah.
I justified myself into my Chanel bag. I'm like,
Absolutely.
shoot, that's about to make me money. Like what that says about my brand, like done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think when you educate them and you just tell them the facts and spitting out,
Yes.
you're not maybe listening to like, if you hear like, this is what, I use this for,
Yeah.
and then you can like connect that back. But if you just, tell them all about it, they can say, well, I learned all about it. Now let me go find the,
That's
the
right.
deepest.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what a bunch of logic does. The way I describe it is it makes you lethargic. Logic makes you lethargic. It is a total snooze fest. Have y'all ever, I thought I wanted to be a child life specialist. It's like working in the hospital with kids with cancer and but I'll tell you what made me want to do that is I shadowed somebody in the hospital and she was like it, right? She had like the blonde hair and the cute scrubs and everybody loved her and she put me in motion. I saw my future. And then I sat in biology. I was like, logic makes you lethargic. I said, it talked me out of it. I said, I'm not doing this. I literally was like, no, what is the easiest major possible? Because this is not it for me. The logic made me say, never mind. And we try to show, hey, look at all that we know. We're really knowledgeable. No, that is like this much of it. You need to know a lot, but it's the least that you say. So yeah, logic makes you lethargic. Emotion puts you in motion. Anybody else? Give me just a couple more takeaways or questions.
I find it interesting talking about the emotion side of it, and as a salesperson or a salesperson,
Yeah.
how it's a matter of also, I think, emotion from the salesperson's perspective.
Yes.
As well.
You're infusing it
Not
with
just
emotion,
the
100%.
client that needs to be involved in emotion.
Oh, no. You're gonna learn how to draw it out of them.
Exactly.
Because
they
they
relate to you.
Totally. They're not necessarily coming in with it top of mind. Because remember, the emotion has no capacity for language. So they're not thinking about, oh, I want to make memories with my children. But you can learn about them and point that out for them. Does that make sense? So that's what we're going to practice today. Yeah. Anybody else? Has this been helpful so far?
Yeah.
Are y'all enjoying it so far?
Yes.
Yeah? Yeah.
I was just going to say, if you're passionate about it, then they see that. And they're
Totally.
like, oh, yeah,
Totally. Yeah. It should be like a wildfire that you can see and smell from miles away. It is your passion. Yeah. I want to work with someone who cares about what they do. Not absolutely. Absolutely. Snooze fest. Amen. And y'all are super fun, so I don't got to worry about that with y'all. But yeah, awesome. Okay, let's take a little break. Y'all go potty, get some water, get some coffee, and then we will go into the framework. Yeah? Now, This framework, it's going to really come to life when we practice. It's a little ninja. Can y'all handle ninja stuff? Yeah? Like high level stuff? I think you can. Y'all are ready. And I might have to go through it twice, which I'm totally happy to do that. But I'm just going to go slow and it's going to be amazing. Okay, y'all ready? Say I'm ready if you're ready. All right, let me ask you something. Very relevant question. If you could choose, would you rather have a custom home or a builder grade home? Custom, right? So the very first house, my husband and I, we were newly married and we got to build a builder grade home. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I'm like 22 years old. What? I'm building a house? But I had like 2 options of everything. Like Uba Tuba. Y'all remember that granite? Yeah. That was one. And then there was I don't remember the other. And I was just like, they would not work with me at all with any requests that I had. And I was just like, wow, okay, this is not what I thought it was going to be. But if you think about a builder grade home, they're building it for the general public. So in general, people have 2 kids. In general, they have 2 cars. In general, they like their master upstairs or whatever. It's just very general, right? But the custom home is for the custom person. Now, when people are communicating, what I find 9 times out of 10 is they speak very generally, very builder grade. Okay? Very builder grade. And I want to give you an example of like a builder grade message versus a custom message. And we want to go custom, yeah? So a builder grade message looks like this. You're going to feel so confident. Confident is the most general word ever. How many times have people told you you're going to be confident? All the time, right? You're going to be confident, you're going to be confident. General, basic, not specific. A custom message might look a little something like this. Hey, this summer, you're going to be able to walk around your neighborhood pool without a cover up on. You see how custom that is? So you can think like, okay, confident is general, but like, what is a specific picture that represents confidence? If they can't picture it, it's not persuasive. If they can't picture it, it's not persuasive. So what's cool about like this, walking around the neighborhood pool, we all know that feeling. Y'all know what I'm talking about? You're like, I do not want to get up. But like your kids are in the pool and they want you to get in the pool. But like your neighbor Tom is like right beside you and that's awkward. So it's just like, okay, wow, I can feel confident just on being present with my kids at the neighborhood pool. Now, what are some things that people could be selling with this message? Let me ask you. There's some options that someone might sell if they were telling you this. Fitness program, what else? Nutrition? Huh? Nutrition, fitness? Okay. Potentially. But did this like perk y'all's interest a little bit? You're like, oh, what could that be? Do what? Yeah, absolutely. So you're kind of like, you're like, oh, what could that be? Well, let's see. Possible things that they could be selling. Swimwear. Mindset coaching. They could never change their body at all and just think differently about themselves and start walking around the pool. Self-tanner. Y'all know when you put some self-tanner on, it's a game changer, yeah? Confidence coaching, like it could be so many different offers, but this custom message, it kind of perked your interest to be like, what could help me do that? Does that make sense? Okay, now let me ask you this. If you were to build a custom home for somebody right now, you're the designer, you're the architect, you are the one that's going to build this home that's going to make them excited to move in. What is the first thing you're going to do? What? Look at products. What else? Look for ideas. Okay, interesting. What else? Okay, you already have the client. Yeah. You're gonna. Okay, this is so fascinating that this is y'all's answers in the best way possible. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna ask them questions. How do you make a custom house for a person if you don't know what they need? Yeah, right? Like they're like, hey, I want a custom house. And you're like, okay, let me go research. Versus, wait, they literally have everything for you. Okay, how many kids do you have? Do you want to have more kids? What are their ages? What are their sports? Do they have a lot of friends over? Do you want to host a lot? Or are you like, no, I don't want to host? Do you want your kids' friends to come over? Or do you want them to go somewhere else? How many cars do you want to have? Like, you got to ask them every question possible to know how to make a custom, someone say custom, a custom message for them, okay? Now, here's what most people do. They get a client, right? And they're like, let me tell you all the things, all the possibilities. And you start talking. Does that sound a little familiar? Just a little bit? It's okay. Safe place here, y'all. You just start talking. And this is kind of like the visual I want you to have. It's like you went to the grocery store, you got all these ingredients, and you handed it to your prospect, and you said, make your own meal. It looks like this. Make your own meal. I bought everything. You can make whatever you want. I got vegetables, protein, carbs. Do your thing. So what are those ingredients? What do they look like? They look like this. It reflects natural light. This is seamless. It's affordable. It's durable. It's warm. It's cool tone. You're just like saying all the things, giving them all the ingredients, right? These are ingredients. And you're like, cook your meal. Is this resonating with you? It's like, take what you need. It's like the buffet. That's disgusting. We're not going to the buffet. Have y'all seen your showroom? They are not going to the buffet, those people. I can promise you that. They are hiring a private chef. And you are the chef. So we want to reverse this. You are the chef. And you're saying, hey, tell me everything that's on your mind. Like, does this sound familiar? I just made this up. I don't even like really know anything about the product. My builder wants me to do something else. You know what? I like this. I think I can get it cheaper at the warehouse. I really want everything to harmonize, but I'm like really scared you're going to make the wrong decision. Let's see. I don't want to mess this up. All of these choices are so overwhelming. Y'all, I took the long way to the bathroom. I was not having fun looking at all those options. Like, it's so overwhelming. I really want to up level everything, but I feel like that's just too much. I got to convince my husband to get on board. Does this sound familiar? What do y'all think when you hear all this? What comes up to you? For you, I should say. Normal? Okay. She needs help? A lot on her mind? Yeah. Do you think about how these sentences could be used for a custom message? Do you think like that? Or are you just like, oh, that's her thing. I'm going to go on my thing. So when you're listening to this, I want you to be thinking, okay, what is like the perfect meal I can make her? What is the custom message? What's the custom home that I can make her based on everything that she's telling me? Now, the Sales Girl software, this ninja level, is we're listening for very, very specific things. And I have it broken down into 3 categories that I want y'all to think about, okay? So number 1, we're listening for what might be in the way from them buying. So what are some things that might be in the way? Budget. Other people's opinions. Husband not on board. Spouse not on board. Builder doesn't want it. Okay. We're listening for what do they think they need? Not what they need. What do they think they need versus what they actually need? And then lastly, what do they want? Which is not always the same thing as what they need, right? You need to build muscle. No one wants to be told that, right? What they want is people to jump out of a beach chair with their grandkids when they're 70 years old. Does that make sense? So let's start with what might be in the way. So these steps right here that we're trying to get people to climb over to get on the other side of the belief bridge, they also are things that are in their way from moving forward. Does that make sense? And so we want to really uncover them and learn how to remove them. Now, we're not going to really be able to get into that today, like how to remove those objections and those resistances. But for today, I just want you to like be listening for them and put it kind of in your arsenal of like, this information might be helpful for when I craft a message, okay? So we're just always listening for that. The second thing is, what do they think they need versus what they actually need, okay? And this is where you probably feel a little frustrated. So for example, they think they need to source themselves, to save money. How many of you have heard that before? What they actually need is a trained professional that's going to help them save money. The professional has already made all the mistakes. They know where not, that's a bomb, don't step on that. And it's going to save them so much time and energy, but they don't see that yet, right? They think they need certain colors. Like, y'all, I renovated my second house. I wanted white. I just believed white. It was like, it was so sterile feeling. I knew I was right though, you know, and it was like, I could have surgery in that house. It was so white, but like but you know, when you look at the color, it looks yellow. on the whatever, what am I talking about? The sample, it looks yellow, but in house, you're like, oh crap, I messed this up. So what they actually need is a different color for the look that they're going for. Have you had to like persuade people like, hey, I know you think you need this white, but it's going to look a certain way. This is why this BS, you know, everyone is nodding up in here. Okay. So we're listening for that because we want to guide them into a new belief system, not just tell them. We don't want to tell them, we want to sell them. We want to persuade them. Okay. Last but not least, what do they want? So instead of thinking, what are they coming in for? I want you to think, why are they coming in? Not what are they coming in for? Why are they coming in? Okay. You are like, they need durable countertops. That's what you're thinking, yeah? But what they want is a home for memories. Two very different messages. Do you see that? This is logic. Durable countertops. That, to me, that sounds like stainless steel, like ugly visual, right? But a home built for memories. They need this hardware, this certain hardware. It's like different and, you know, exotic looking. But what they want is a home that harmonizes all together. A home that harmonizes. They think you're thinking they need light reflective countertops. But what they want in their heart is a home that feels really big so they can finally host Thanksgiving. Okay, which one is going to put you in motion? What they want, not what they need. So you see how these are two roads right here? You're like, okay, they need reflective lighting, but like, here's what they want. And we got to connect the two because what they want is going to put them in motion, not what they need. Does that make sense? Do y'all feel like that you kind of lean on this right here? Here's what you need, here's what you need, here's not, hey, this is what you will get out of reflective countertops. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. So this is what this looks like. You're listening, you're asking. We're going to talk about clarifying questions in just a second. We're asking questions to hear, okay, what is it that they want? Do they want a home where, like, y'all, let's just think about payoffs. We're going to talk about payoffs in just a second. All I want in life is for my house to be the house that all my kids' friends want to come to. I'm not sending my kids to someone's house. There's crazy people. No way. And so the only way that's going to happen is that my house is amazing. It is full of things that they can play with and they can do. And it's like spacious and movies and all the things. But like, I want my kids to be like, oh my gosh, all my friends love to come over here. That's what I want. Now, people might not come at you with that information right away, but you can ask some questions to uncover what's in their heart. Like, why are they here? Why are they in this like really beautiful showroom? And why do they want this specific home? Do y'all feel like y'all ask those types of questions right now? Do you feel like you use that information? You do? Okay, good. Because we're gonna practice. Now, here's kind of where the framework is coming in. There's 3 categories of product knowledge, and this is kind of like a major component of the Sales Girl software. There's people knowledge, product knowledge, and payoff knowledge. And we're going to add all this together to make one custom message. People knowledge, product knowledge, and payoff knowledge. So let's start with product knowledge. I don't got to say a word about this. Y'all know your product knowledge. This is what you know the most about, but you say the least. Know the most, say the least. Now, a lot of people think they're the expert at what they do because they know the most. You are only the expert when you can really connect your expertise to people. Not just know it, we have to connect it to people. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm not even going to go there right now. But what I am going to talk about is payoff knowledge. So what is a payoff? What do you think a payoff is when I say that?
Yeah.
Outcome. Okay. Referrals. Do what? How it'll benefit you. Yeah. I want you to think about a payoff as someone's bright, beautiful future. It's a bright, beautiful future. Do not offer them your offer. Offer them their future. That's what the payoff is. Not your offer, but their future. And a good question to ask yourself all the time, what's in it for them? 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 And what I want your homework for the rest of your life is every time you just interact with something, I want you to think, what would be in it for them? I remember when I first learned this, I was like looking at a jar of salsa and I'm like, okay, what's in it for them? Like, what would be in it for someone to use this salsa? Like, okay, it's restaurant style salsa. So they could impress their mother-in-law. So they could make a meal that they're proud to give their children. So they could, like, I don't know. I was just like thinking, like, what are all the payoffs possible for this jar of salsa? That's how I want you to think about everything. The watch that you put on, the product that you use in your hair, what's in it for them? And you're going to start to like really build your arsenal of payoff knowledge. This is a skill set, is to develop, just like you have product knowledge, but to develop payoff knowledge. I'm going to give you an example right now. Okay. So it's the payoff of the product, but it's also the payoff of the payoff. So this is your product knowledge right here. That's your payoff knowledge. You have to learn both at the same time. So every time you have a product training, I want you to take a minute and be like, okay, what's in it for them to have this product? Okay, and start building it. So it's also the payoff of the payoff. So let's do an example, okay? Product knowledge. I just looked this up, by the way. So y'all tell me if I'm wrong, okay? The quartz countertop backsplash combination creates a space expanding effect. Is that correct? Okay, thank you. So that's a product knowledge. Space expanding effect. Okay, so all I did is I went to ChatGPT. I just said, why is this space expanding effect valuable? Why is that good? Why would that be beneficial? Well, I learned a couple of things. I learned that it has visual continuity. It's very simple and it reflects natural light. That's good. That's good. That's ChatGPT. I know nothing. So if I can do this, y'all can do this. Trust me. Now, the payoff of the product is good, but what's even better is the payoff of the payoff. The payoff of the payoff. So I just went one layer deeper and I just asked ChatGPT again. I was like, okay, why is visual continuity important? What does a simple home mean? Like, what does it reflect? What's in it for them to have reflective light? And here's the things that I found. Okay, payoff of the product right here. The payoff of the payoff. Visual continuity makes things feel calm and spacious. Now, I have a 4 and a 2-year-old, the last thing I would describe my house as is calm and spacious. But like, if I could have a little something that would help me experience that would be a big deal for me. Okay. Hey. Simplicity. There is luxury in simplicity. I don't know about y'all, but all I saw was luxury up in that showroom. So it's actually more luxurious to have simplicity. When there's a one material, there's fewer distractions. Okay, so I want you to imagine a woman coming in and she's just, you can tell when a woman is luxurious. And she values luxury. And helping her see, hey, when you have the quartz and countertop combination, it is simple, which will feel more luxurious. I want that. Any of y'all want that? An illusion? Okay. And there it is, natural light. What is the value of natural light? It makes the room feel warm and welcoming. How many of y'all want your home people to like feel like, oh my gosh, it's so cozy in here? Okay, do you see how like this payoff knowledge is like a totally different lane that you learn to develop and pair it with your product knowledge? Is this making sense so far? Say yes if it is. Yes. Okay. ChatGPT is a great place to research, but another is just hearing what people say. So I'll give you like a kind of a dicey example, but it's fine. I was coaching somebody and we do a ton of role play coaching. That's where it really comes to life. And there was a money coach. So she coaches people in their finances and how to get their money right. And she was practicing selling her offer to a woman. And the woman was like, oh, like, I just hate talking about it. I resist it so much. And she just said, hey, why? Like, why do you resist it? She was like, honestly, it really affects my husband and I's sex life. I was not ready for that. I was like, whoa. This is like a group of a bunch of people. And I'm just like, wow, but that's like a payoff for somebody that her and her husband can maintain a high level of intimacy, even when they talk about finances. ChatGPT probably wouldn't have told me that, but it came out of her own mouth. And so if one person says something, I can almost guarantee you at least 10 other people are thinking it. Does that make sense? And so one person might not say, I want to like have intimacy with my husband, but they're thinking it. And so if one person is willing to say it, if it kind of makes sense, you could even say that. And they're like, how are you reading my mind right now? And what does that do? Emotion. And what does emotion do? In motion, baby. That's right. Okay, cool. So now let's go to people knowledge. Now, I probably spend days teaching on people knowledge, truly. But I don't have time to speak on salespeople knowledge that much, but this is critical. This is critical. It is not like if you say a payoff that doesn't connect with the person, it doesn't matter. It doesn't land, right? So we want the payoff knowledge, but it has to make sense for the person. And this is where everyone comes in and you are learning about them. You are asking them questions, you're getting clarity, and you are making sure that your message lands for them, right? It's custom. I like to say, if you want them to say, I trust them, you got to make it custom. Once you know how to sell, you have sales experiences, and you're just like, if you could just learn how to sell, your life would be a lot easier. But I find that like people, what a lot of salespeople do is they start talking about why they love a product, like a payoff for them. And I don't care about that. I care about something totally different, and they've lost me. And they're just going. And I'm like, I'll actually give you a example. Just yesterday, I was in the Avalon and I walked in Peloton. We did this cool like giveaway for some of our followers, and we gave away a Peloton product. So they flew in, we had dinner with them, and it was like so fun. And we went to Peloton. I'm like, look at the Peloton. And so she was deciding between the bike or the treadmill. And the salesperson was like, well, I really feel like I got so much more tone with the bike, and I feel like my muscles were so much bigger, and the treadmill, like I just don't feel like I built my body changed that much, but my cardio changed. And I. And not for a second did she say, hey, what is important to you? What's important to you? Like all she wanted is like kind of a space where she could walk and work. And also, because you can put like a thing on top of your Peloton and she just wanted to be able to walk and work and also be able to get a really high intensity workout in. And all this woman kept talking about was how her body changed with the bike. And I'm like, if she just asked, hey, what's important to you? She could have tailored the message perfectly for her and help her make the decision for her, not what she would have done. Does that make sense? So when you become a salesperson, what's really hard is you have to die to yourself. I love y'all so I love you, but no one cares about you. They don't care about you. They don't care about your life. They don't care about what you do. They care about what? They're thinking, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? And that's why you're always thinking, what's in it for them? What's in it for them? What's in it for them? So that you can speak to them and their heart specifically. A little game that I would encourage you to try is to just try not to say the word I. And the reason we do this, like so many people just love to talk about themselves that we have to go on the other side of the spectrum just to meet in the middle. When I first learned this, I went to I had just moved into the new neighborhood, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to this like neighborhood party, and I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to not say the word I, not one time. And so I sat with this girl, and I just met her for the first time, and she's like, I live in this neighborhood. How long have you lived in it? Other than this year, tell me what you do. Do you enjoy what we do? What's the story of you getting into your world? Tell me about your kids. I just put it back on her, and we kind of split ways. And I found her later, and she was like, oh my gosh, I've been meaning to find you. I just like want to get your phone number and hang out. I was just telling my friend how much I loved you. And I'm like, she didn't know anything about me, but I gave her the spotlight. Now, there are times for sure to talk about certain parts of yourself, but just to rewire your brain, I would encourage you, how can I just not say the word I ever and just be so curious about people? And this is how you gain your ability to get people knowledge. This makes sense? Say yes if it does. Okay, so this is what we're doing. We are listening and asking high quality questions. Okay, this is going to come together when we practice. Now, this last one is not what they're coming in for, but why are they coming in? So they're coming in for these reasons right here. They want to be able to host Thanksgiving. Y'all, all I want to do is host Thanksgiving. Why does that feel like so fun and special? My house isn't big enough to do that yet, but I just want to, and it's not even like I could host Thanksgiving, but it's like, I want to feel so confident in opening my doors. I want people to walk in and be like, oh man, it feels so good in here. Right? People want things done quickly because they have a baby coming. That's what they want. They don't just want a nursery. They want it in a certain way, in a certain time period because they're baby. They're focused on growing their company, and they needed a trusted advisor to guide them. Hey, we're gonna make sure that this process goes smoothly so you can stay in your zone of genius. So you can grow your company, so you can serve all the women and create world-class sales girls as you do. This is gonna be taken care of for you. Music to my ears. You know? They're moving into a new neighborhood and they want to impress their whole neighborhood. They're gonna have a dinner party and they need to know we belong here. Let's see what else. Oh, they want their kids to come to play out when they get older. This is why they're coming in. Not what they're not coming in for a faucet. Why are they coming in? This is why. We have to uncover what it is so we can repeat it back to them. Does that make sense? Say yes. Okay. So let's do an example. Does that sound good? Let's go to the courts example. Okay. So we have let's say a lady walks in. Okay. She's like, I want to just find a faucet or something. I don't know. And you find out like what process she is in her renovation, and she's you're learning about like who's helping her and all of this good stuff. And you're like, okay, so tell me about this house. What's the story of this house? And that's a great tip, by the way. Tell me the story of how you got here. Why is that so powerful? Because the story, that word, it unlocks the subconscious. And when you start telling stories, you start bringing up emotions. Okay. So you say, tell me the story of this house. You might say, well, this has actually been our dream neighborhood. It's the perfect school district. It is like the perfect neighbors. The backyard is amazing. And I just really want to make friends with these new neighbors. And we want to host a dinner party really soon. And I've got to make that great first impression so that people like they want to invite us places. So I just really want this renovation to go well and that I can make that impression that I want to make. Okay. But like she's not really that far along in the process. She's got this mood board and what she thinks she wants is not really what she wants. She really needs this quartz backsplash combination. That's not on her radar right now, but she needs it. She's coming in for the faucet. She needs have y'all experienced this before? They need so much more than what, okay. So you learned this people knowledge about her. You have this product knowledge about the quartz. You know the payoff knowledge, okay? Now, a really important detail here is to ask a clarifying question. Someone say clarifying question. Want to make amazing first impression. Okay, one's first impression is different from another. What amazing first impression is different from another person. For example, like a status for a mom might be a minivan to look cool with the other moms, but status for someone else might be a Ferrari, right? So we had to say, okay, what is an amazing first impression? Like maybe the neighborhood is full of a bunch of crunchy, non-toxic moms and they just want like wood everywhere. That I don't know, I just totally made that up. But it's like, what is the first impression that is important for you? And then we started to learn, oh, well, they like everyone is so like fancy and they just have these homes that are so they harmonize so beautifully. And I just wanted to feel luxurious. Okay, so we know where to pull from our product knowledge and our payoff knowledge now, okay? So we know that when things are simple, it's luxurious and elevated. We already have it. We just got to put it together. Yeah? This is why we have to always have our payoff knowledge and our product knowledge, our payoff knowledge and our product knowledge ready to go because people are going to bring the next knowledge and we just got to put it together. So let's build a house, a custom house right here. Ready? Have you considered a quartz countertop backsplash combination? This is going to create a space expanding effect. And what this really does is it's going to simplify the home, making it feel so much more luxurious. And this luxurious impact is going to help you make that amazing first impression in your neighborhood. Now, having that right impression that really reflects you is important to you, right? Custom message, custom home, built for them. Now, she's going to have questions. Okay, well, tell me about, and we'll get to that later. We just want her to get in motion, to care about what you're presenting her. That's all we're trying to do here. Does this make sense? I tried to do this as simply as possible. And so I want to make sure it checks out for you because I want to practice. Does this make sense? Now let's look at this combination, okay? Here's the product knowledge, the countertop combination, and the space expanding effect. This is your payoff knowledge. It simplifies the space and makes it more luxurious. And this is your people knowledge for a custom house. What are your questions? Do you have any? Is this helpful? This is going to really come to life when we practice. I promise you. Promise. Now, I do want to just show you this one kind of like mindset that you can have when you're learning people knowledge. Think about this whole thing really. Listen, learn, return. Listen, learn, return. Listen, learn, return. We're listening, like listen to the person, not necessarily what they're saying. Does that make sense? For example, one time I was on a sales call. This was like my very first learn how to sell. And this woman, I was trying to sell sales training and my dad and I were doing it together at the time. So he was going to do the training and I was selling it. And she kept talking about her adopted dogs. And I'm like, what is going on? Have y'all ever had conversations with people and they're just like taking hard rights and you're like, where are we going here? And next thing you know, you're talking about their divorce and like what? Am I a therapist or like, are we trying to get a countertop up in here? And she's telling me about her adopted dogs. And she's like, I love my adopted dog so much. Like, I just want to adopt more. And I'm trying to get this underground fence. And I'm just like, I thought we were talking about sales training. And then I realized, oh, no, this is the point. I'm listening to the person. I'm listening to her. Like, she lit up when she talked about her dogs and she kind of felt frustrated when she talked about her business. So like, hey, if there was a way that you could have the skill to adopt as many dogs as you want, that's what you want, right? Okay, so we're listening to the person and kind of where they take it. Learn is like all about understanding. This is where clarifying questions come in. I want you to have them define everything. If they say, I want to make a good first impression, tell me what that means for you. If they say, I want to have a house where my kids' friends come over. Okay, what exactly like do your kids like to do? Like just clarify. It's what, why, where, when, how, any clarifying question that you can have. And then we're just returning everything they said to us. We're just returning it. Listen, learn, return. That's it. Does that make sense? Okay, so I want to practice, but we probably need a break. Yeah? Or do you actually let's just practice. Let's just do one rep. You are coming as an embody her, okay?
Okay.
Whoever's a prostitute in your mind.
Mhm.
And coming for like what they want, and we're gonna spot her and see how we can help her even more. Because what we want to want them to buy more things from us. Yes? If they get an amen, we want them to buy more, not just so. Come on in. You see her. Yes. Johanna. Start the conversation.
Hello, welcome in. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Amazing. It's a beautiful day. My name is Brian. What's your name?
Johanna. Nice to meet you.
Johanna. Thank you for stopping by. What brings you into our showroom today?
So I've heard great things about construction resources, so I
Okay.
came to check it out.
Okay.
I'm looking for countertops for my condo. I'm remodeling.
Remodeling.
Mhm.
Congratulations. How long have you been in the condo?
9 years.
9 years. What's
Mhm.
the story behind the condo?
So I come from Dallas, Texas,
Oh.
and I moved into Atlanta, and I really wanted a high-rise condo. That was just always the dream, and I felt like Atlanta was just perfect.
Nice, nice. Welcome to the city.
Thank
And
you.
before we get in too deep, she says that.
She said, I've always wanted a high-rise condo.
Yes. Yes.
What's underneath there?
Ooh, it's more there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Let's unpack it.
awesome. Tell me more about why.
All right.
Why have you always wanted that?
You ready?
Yeah.
You got some time for me, right?
Mhm.
All right.
Yes, of
We're gonna go
course.
deep
Okay.
because I always wanted.
Right?
Let's go deep. Let's go deep. I want to make sure I got time because if you gotta go, we can make it quick.
No,
But if you
I
have time,
time. Mhm.
perfect. Because I've always wanted a condo.
Really?
Always. Tell me more. Tell me more. What made you move? What are the things that really drew you to that condo? And tell me just what you're thinking as far as your overall idea and concept that you want to do with this condo.
Okay, good. And you asked for like 4 questions.
I did. I hear her.
Mhm.
One.
Okay.
So she said, literally, it was, remember, we're listening to the person right now. She
Yeah.
said, I've always wanted a high-rise condo.
Sure.
To me, I'm like, that's like a little girl's dream. And I'm just like, is there a story behind that? So how do you want to stop me? Like, tell me the story
Yeah.
of why you've always wanted a high-rise condo.
Love it. Period.
Period. See what comes up. You're doing amazing.
You ready?
Really good brain. Just like the little.
Go, Brian. Go, Brian. Go, Brian. Go, Brian.
No. It's awesome.
Please tell me more about this beautiful high-rise condo that you have.
No. So tell me more about what has made you always want.
Oh,
a
yes.
high-rise condo. That's what she always wanted.
Always.
Yeah.
We should write that down.
Yeah. Why?
Always
She said I've always wanted a high-rise condo.
Always.
Why?
But the
Why have you
always.
wanted that?
Okay. Ready? Yeah, always.
Always.
All right. What made you always
There you go.
want this high-rise condo?
Come on, Brian.
So growing up, I would always see like pictures of like just spaces where you could see a view of the city.
Yeah.
And I've always just wanted that. I've always known all my life that I'm a city girl.
Amazing.
Sex in the City, yeah?
Yeah.
Harry Bradshaw moment.
I like. Okay, what next?
Okay, so that's just like noted, right? Everyone just like noticed. She's just like since a little girl,
Nice.
and maybe Keen asked, oh, is there like a specific like movie or story? Like, is there a specific person that you think about? I don't know. I'm just curious. Like, she's really deep in this
condo situation.
Mhm.
So
Uh-huh.
is there like a person that you think about, or is it a movie that you saw? Tell me more.
I think it's probably several movies that I've seen or like shows where, it's like living in the city and I've always wanted that.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Cute.
I like,
Did you know Sex and the City?
of course.
Kiera Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The reason I like that is like if she knows what that is, it's like instant healing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, it's like an instant emotion and picture that she can have. She gets to be the star of her own show. Okay?
Ooh.
So just know, everyone would just feel like this. It's been in our back pocket. We might pull it out later, we might not, but we just have it. Okay.
Sure.
So you came in. What did you originally come in for? Renovation, or you said countertops, right?
Renovate.
I'm in a renovation
In a renovation.
and I'm looking for countertops.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Awesome. So now I'm going to ask more about like the renovation process, kind of go more into that logic, because we need to know what product she needs so that we can connect it to the payoff. I don't know exactly what product. You know more about product than I do.
Ready?
Mhm.
All right. So tell me about the process. Where are you at as far as the process in this project?
So I'm currently taking everything out of the kitchen. So I'm just kind of going ahead and looking for things so that I don't have to do it in a rush.
Okay.
So I'm not in a rush right now,
Got it.
but I want to go ahead and get everything selected.
Like it.
Okay. Not in a rush is really important. That's like a payoff that she wants. She wants to take it easy, right? You don't want to be scurried and
Mhm.
stressed out. Okay, so that's know that. That's a little people knowledge. Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
Not in a rush.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So she only wants countertops.
Okay.
Where are you at with all the other selections? Hello, opening the door
Mhm.
for more stuff, right?
Understood. All right.
You're
Cool.
doing amazing, Brian.
I'm having fun. This
Yeah,
is
so
good. All right. So countertops. That's well. You're getting ready. You're gearing up. You're not in a rush. That's good. That's good. Okay. We talked about a little bit about your surface search. Are
Mhm.
there any other things that you might be in the market for at this moment, in addition to just surfaces?
Yes.
Okay,
So
let's ask it in a slightly different way.
Okay.
That's more like her language.
Got it.
So, like in the market, it's giving like my world,
Uh-huh.
your world.
Sure.
Are you in the market bringing other selections? I'm gonna talk in her language.
Okay.
So
Pause.
she's,
Let me
she's
think.
a general
I wanna think.
public,
Let me think.
general public person who
Let me think.
doesn't know anything.
All right.
Does that make sense, y'all?
Mhm.
That's like
How about
it's like a what type of language? It's like jargon is what I would describe that.
that's
It's
what
really
I'm thinking.
jargony.
So would I go in a direction of vision board? Are you on Instagram or
But
anything?
it's like what else have we selected?
Yeah. What else? What do
What
you
else have we
like? What's your
selected?
style?
I would just say what else have we selected? We just want to open the can of worms and just let her speak. We want all the
Oh,
ingredients we can
then
possibly
this is
get.
easy.
That's so
Keep it
easy.
simple,
Keep
stupid.
it simple. That's
All
exactly
right.
right.
You ready?
Let her do the work.
What else you want? I'm joking.
Um,
What else are you looking for?
what else have we selected? Have you selected anything else?
What else have you selected?
So I've already selected my cabinet colors,
Okay.
my wall colors.
Mhm.
I am currently looking to select some new floors,
Wow.
my countertops, maybe a sink, a faucet,
Yeah.
and appliances.
The whole ship. I love it.
Mhm.
Like,
Ding, ding, ding. So do we explore more?
okay, so now that we've kind of opened the door to not be so countertop focused,
Sure.
now it like can kind of go into the actual like process of selecting, right? Potentially, it could have wouldn't everything. But for right now,
Okay.
what if we just build a custom house that gets her in motion and excited about what's coming? Okay, so she's not in a rush. Is there like a specific process that y'all go through that is like a timely process that makes sure everybody gets what they need in a certain amount of time?
There's sourcing of material.
Sourcing his material. Can you tell me just like a little bit about that process?
So you got customers coming in and they're looking for a specific sub, or maybe they're looking Taj Mahal, which is my partner nowadays. They see someone that they're not feeling them, they're not in love with those. We can always source and try to see via unbundled data.
But can you be like, okay, this process can be done in 12 weeks? Like, could you know that? 69. Okay. Okay, cool. So this not in a rush really stood out to me. So I might just ask a little clarifying question of like, what is her timeline? Just ask for that real quick. You say you're not in a rush. Tell me
Okay.
more.
You're not in a rush. What's the timeline?
So I'm looking to be done with the project in October
This year?
of this year.
Okay. It's not that far, girlfriend.
I mean, it's not, but
Something goes through me. Okay, cool. So, is there like a product knowledge thing that you could tell me? So October is what, like 20, it's like 20 weeks away, right? Yeah. So you might say something, okay, well, it's really good news. When we like select or start the process today, this will be a 12-week process. I'm making that up. I don't know if it is. Okay, this will be a 12-week process so you can enjoy this remodel and become the Carrie Bradshaw of your life in just a few short weeks. You ready to get started?
yeah.
Let's on over. Let's take a look at everything. And now we get into the actual product part.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
It does make
So
sense.
give me a little something like that, okay? And the only reason I'm saying the 12 weeks is because she's like, okay, I just want to do this well. I want to do it right. So I'm connecting to Mountain Rush, Carrie Bradshaw, remodel. Good.
What's the timeline that you have for this? I need a read in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Timeline.
So what's the timeline that you have for this?
I'm looking to be done with my project in October of this year.
Of this year.
Mhm.
That's amazing.
Right before the holidays.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. We can make sure that we create the perfect holiday for you and your brand new renovated condo. Make you feel really Terry Bradshaw for the holidays. How do you feel about that?
Yes, you're speaking my language.
There we go.
Love it.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to tweak it just a little bit.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yes.
So you said we a couple times.
Sure.
Yeah.
I kept
So
myself.
we, I, me, my, we want to try to
Ooh.
get rid of it
Yeah.
and say you. Johanna, she's the queen of the castle here, okay? Because that's what people hear. When you say you and I say Johanna, are you like, ding, 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 you light up a little bit, yeah?
Yeah.
So, yes, we, I, me, my, us, and anything like that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Mhm.
Totally.
Yeah.
I should have said that. You're exactly right. Exactly. So what I want to do is I want to get her excited so I can make decisions today.
Okay.
Right? Don't you?
Absolutely.
We don't want to go with chicken tires. We want them.
No. Let's do it.
When you can get the process started and start making selections today,
Yeah.
you can expect by, a 12 weeks off Thanksgiving, whatever you want to say, that you will have the beautiful high-rise renovated condo so that you can be the Carrie Bradshaw of your life.
Yes.
Are you ready to start picking out stuff?
Yes.
So that's top of mind for her as she's selecting. She's not thinking about timeline. She's not thinking about how much it's going to cost. She's thinking, oh, this is on the other side of these decisions today. We're trying to close this. Like, let's get this done. And,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so do it again.
Okay.
Because we're trying to get her excited to make some decisions right now.
Ready?
Mhm.
What's the timeline for this project for you?
So I'm looking to be done with my project in October of this year, right before the holidays.
Okay. Well, what I almost said we.
You.
You know what?
It's hard.
Yeah, it is. All right. Taking yourself out of it is tricky. Hold on.
It's really hard.
All right. Set me up again. What's the date that you need to think?
October. So I was trying to say, when you start the process today,
When you start this process today,
you can expect.
my first word was we.
No, I know. I'm telling you, it is.
When you start this process today, you will be enjoying your place by the holidays, living your best life.
Carrie Bradshaw life. Amen.
Okay.
Are you ready to get started and make some selections?
Yeah. And are you ready to do this? I
Yes.
can see how this works a little bit more now. Yeah. You ready?
Yes. I was born ready.
And now you go do your product thing.
Yeah.
And even when you're showing the product, it's like, hey, when you have this marbling,
Yeah.
you will have
Mm.
this feel, or whatever. And it'll be the feel that she already told you. Timeline, you just gave me a good idea. Timeline is really a great question to ask because she said by the holidays.
Sure.
Why is the holidays important? Are you posting?
Sure.
People knowledge.
I'm covering that.
I'm back in. I was pulling out the upper house before. Who's are coming? Oh, you're getting married. This is your first time hosting your in-laws. You see how it is?
Mm-hmm.
You got people knowledge.
I like it.
Brian.
Yes.
come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Brian. Give him a hand. Come on, Brian. Now, did that come together for y'all a little bit? A little more? We're going to do some more, okay? Now, I don't think it's totally crazy to have a notepad and kind of write, since I do that in my sales conversations. I do my little notes. so I know what to bring you back to.
Yes, please, Maria. We're putting ourselves on move. And in Structured Resources, we're going to have different people in place, specialists about the different. Because, Ryan Van start a little bit this it's a good story, and if he uses a he's talking about we is it. So he's going to or he's going to show up the buy specialist and say, hey, I want to the surety. You just step by specialist copy with the
Yeah, totally. And so a simple way of rephrasing, 100%. Yeah, you can listen. Yeah, you do whatever feels right for you. This is not Bible by any means, but you can rephrase it. You can say, when you work with construction resources, you will have a appliance specialist. And that is the first person you'll meet with so that you can know exactly what countertops you want to have. Do you see how this just feels so customized?
Yeah.
Like, it's not about me, it's about what you need. You get, like, and it feels like a bonus. It's like, oh, I get a specialist? Are you kidding me? So it's just a little bit of rephrasing. And of course, like, it's going to slip.
Sure.
But the way that you take control is if you really try to remove it. And then you can be intentional about it because it slips like crazy.
Yeah, it's easy to say.
It's crazy.
It is.
And now, warning, you're going to be in every conversation that until everyone says, I, me, my, the whole time.
All day.
And it's going to drive you crazy. Why? That's the role of a salesperson. Because we let them have the spotlight. She was the queen. It's all about when we die to ourselves so that she wins. Because when she wins, I win.
Sure.
Yeah?
I
Amen.
noticed even when I was saying I consistently, I felt more powerful dumping it on her instead of out of responsibility on what I'm gonna do for you. No, this is your project.
But
You're gonna get to enjoy this prior.
Amen. You get to enjoy this process. Sit back and relax. Yeah?
Yep.
Anybody else? Thank you for bringing that up, Maria. Yeah. Because it definitely is a... Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm just trying to get everybody to be in control of their words. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to meet the specialist now.
I got one more for you that I learned on up here was the keep it simple. Sometimes you get so excited because it's like, oh, we're gonna show you all this fun stuff. Yeah, I want to show you this. I want to show you this. What are you into? What do you like? Instead of one question at a time and just enjoying that ride.
Yep.
And because we're new to the West Side, so we're so excited to show everybody everything.
Yes, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes, and the way you can think about it is every time she says something, it's like a breadcrumb that you know where to follow.
Yep.
So we want to like say one thing at a time, let her drop the breadcrumbs so that you know what next question to ask.
Yeah.
Versus here's all the questions and then that's like the buffet, right?
Yeah.
Here's everything we want to say. Now you pick what you want to say.
Yeah.
That's where people get decision fatigue. They're coming to make plenty of decisions right now. The last thing you need to think about is like what to answer first.
Sure.
So we want to make it as easy for them as possible.
Yeah.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
Give it a hand.